Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are here once again with Eurovision, the tier list, the final one. All 37 songs have been revealed, so of course we have to do the final tier list of the year. Now, I will caveat this by saying this is, before we see the rehearsals, before we see the performances and everything like that. This is just, we've got all 37 songs, we're putting them together. I'm going to try and make this go quick. As I say, I do tend to ramble about songs. I've got a rough estimate of where I had all of the songs beforehand from the first video, the halfway through the season video. So I'm going to do, first of all, run through these songs, update the position before I add in the new ones. So we have 1 to 5 are the songs that I love. They are my top 5, good to just sort of get that cleared out. Like, love everything about them. There is nothing wrong with any of these songs, in my opinion, obviously. Love, love, love. 6 to 12, still bangers. The top 12 this year, I think, are all fantastic songs. I just want to separate the top 5 from the others. But 6 to 12, all bangers, like big positives are pretty much all around on the top 12. 13 to 24, it's a big section, but it's that middle of the road section where the songs are good, the songs I like. They have something missing that the others don't. And then 25 to 33 songs I'm still leaning positive on, but they're missing a whole lot more, or they don't stand out as much. And 30 to 34 to 37, there are 4 songs in this tier because they are the only songs that I'm actually fully negative on right now. And I think, there's only 4 songs this year that really are bad, which is, that's fair enough. 4 out of 37 is pretty good numbers. Okay, that means 33 out of 37 of these songs are good, which is fantastic. So, we're going to start off. Obviously, I'm going to try and speed through the old entries. We're going to get to the new ones. So, Slovenia has actually moved up quite a lot for me. It has clicked with me quite recently. I think Clement has, he sells the song very well. You can feel, every emotion of his. And it's strange because learning a bit more about Clement, this is not what he usually does, which is interesting. But I think the lyrics will mean a lot to a lot of people who've been through a similar thing. So, there is a place for this that I wasn't giving it before. And for that, the song has moved up a tier into my 13 to 24 section. I will sort of adjust the numbers as we go, just so I don't have to manually place every time. Spain, I like the revamp. I do. It's a bit of a banger. Obviously, it's still disappointing for what Spain could do. The Spanish music scene is incredible. This is not fantastic. But the revamp has improved my ranking of the song. Not enough to get out of this tier, I grant you. And on my notes, on my little script that I have up, I just have in all caps, Poderosa, because I think that line just hits different to the rest of it. my brain is going Poderosa a lot of the day these days. Malta, I think now that she's removed the gimmick, the song actually is an NQ risk. It's still very kitsch, it's still very just gimmicky, and it's not great. I think it's a current sound. It's just not the current sound that I'm a fan of. There's a lot of people that would like this. My sister loves this song. I imagine there'll be plenty of people that would love this song. I'm not one of them. I'm moving this. It's in the same tier. It's in the 25 to 33 tier, tending towards the bottom. It's just not for me. I think I'm not the target audience for this song, is the only issue. So, moving on. Next up, we had Montenegro. The revamp was cool. It elevated the song. Still probably not enough. It's still probably not enough. It does hit harder. It's just that, it's like trying to paint an old broken car. It's giving it a nice shiny new paint job. It looks great, but at the end of the day, the car is still old, the car is still broken. You ain't gonna go far with that thing. And I think that's what it is. The song itself just isn't modern enough. It's not good enough for the current environment to do well. But speaking of improvements, Italy, I like a whole lot more. It's still in this tier. As I said, this middle tier is big. By the end of the video, this tier will have filled out enough to where you can see what trends towards the top and what trends towards the bottom. But Italy is now towards the top of this middle tier. I don't know. It just grew on me. I've grown to like the guitars a lot more. I've grown to like Lucio's voice a lot more. He just has a vibe that's kind of grown on me quite a lot. I'm finding myself enjoying the song a whole lot more than I was at the start. Who's to say how that happened? Still upset, obviously, about Ballo da Nostalgia. That's one of my top 5 songs of the whole season. Who knows? Maybe I'll go over the rest as we go. Probably not. But Ballo da Nostalgia, I wish was here. It's not. But, this is fine too. It's not fantastic, but it's fine. Lithuania, I'm sorry to say, still has not grown on me. And I'm really scared that it won't. Like, I respect the song. I can see the art in the song. It just seemingly isn't for me. I think that, the climax of the song, the bit that it spends the whole time escalating up to, I think just doesn't hit hard enough. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest disappointment. Because the climax of a song like this is so important. It was the same thing last year with Georgia. I think Firefighter was the second best song last year. And I think it was the most underrated song by far. That song deserved top 5. Why? Because the aim of the song was to build and build and escalate. And the climax, that last 30 to 45 seconds, was absolutely incredible. And that's what this song lacks. It lacks that big build into a banger at the end. It's fine, it's a good climax, but it's not enough. So with that, it goes down a tier. I want to like it, but it's not for me. We move on. Greece. Yep. I mean, nothing has changed. It's the exact same as what it once was. I really don't know what more to add to this. Yeah. Ukraine is the next one on here, and actually this has been a massive, massive grower. I think the alt rock songs I have grown to like a lot more. I'm so much so that Ukraine actually finds itself up in the 6 to 12 tier. It's my 12th place. It's at the bottom of it, but it's an amazing song. I love the emotion in the chorus. I love his voice. It's a very interesting voice. It's fantastic. I'm very, very excited to see how this will do, which I wasn't at the start, but something about the song just, again, it's definitely the emotion in his voice, definitely the way he sings, sort of hooked me, and it made me interested to listen to the song a lot more than I was. So fantastic stuff from Ukraine's end. Then we move to Poland next, and this is another one that has gone right the way down for me. Again, like I said in the last video, it's not a song you re-listen to. It's not a song that you can put on over and over again. It's a very one-trick pony song. It's a performance song, but if I don't like the song, I'm not going to care about the performance. It's fine. It's absolutely fine, but it's just not that interesting once you get past the long sustained notes, putting it down, unfortunately, to the lower end of this 25 to 33 tier. Next up, we have Ireland. They're still not beating the Junior Eurovision allegations. And I think, in between me making this video now and the last video, I think I found my biggest issue with the song. It's the fact that it feels like they put the title in before the song. Let me explain a little bit, right? Picture like a writer's room, right, where they're thinking of a song title. They're thinking of how to craft a song, alright? And they're thinking about, right, we want to write a party song. We want to write a song about a party. Okay, what can we do with that? You go to a party. No, it's not much you can do. You have a party. Maybe there's something there. But what about like a party? Wait, it's genius! And then they wrote the song around that pun. They came up with the pun first, and then they wrote the song about it. Because with a song about a subject matter as heavy as Laika the dog, there is so much you can do with that. There is so much you can do with that. Except the song doesn't really focus on Laika. It focuses on the party. And that's where I think the problem comes, is that they made the title like a party, and then they put the song in. They wanted it to be a party song. It just so happens that Laika is the name of Leica. You know what I mean? That's my issue with this song, is that it doesn't feel like it's masquerading as having a message about this, you know, quite heavy subject, this dog that died in space, and it's not really doing anything with it. So it goes to the bottom of this tier. Don't get me wrong, beat's still a banger, song's still a banger. I just think there's a lot more they could have done with it. Next up, obviously Luxembourg, staying right where it is in this tier, just a little bit down, I think. Wait, did I not move? I didn't move Montenegro. That's why. Okay, there we go. Montenegro goes below Spain. Okay, I forgot to move Montenegro. Luxembourg, nothing has changed. Still like the song, still like the message. I think that people are very much throwing the junior Eurovision allegations at it. Maybe performance I can see, but the actual song itself is not. Yeah, moving on. So Finland is next, and I'm very sorry to say to all the Erika stans, but Finland has grown way, way, way off me. I'm starting to dislike the song the more I hear it. Now, I will give it that the speed up at the end is cool, but the 2 minutes you have to sit through to get there is not great. Like, again, especially watching back the live performance, just how empty the 2 minutes are is very, very jarring. And once you get past the whole fact of, you know, she's got stage presence, there's not much to it. That first chorus especially feels very, very empty. Well, as I say, the last minute, and especially with the staging as well, where she's on the microphone, that's really cool. That's really fantastic. But to get there, you've got to sit through quite a bit of just nothingness. So it goes down quite far. It's now in this tier here. I just think the song is too empty for now. We'll see how it changes, as I say. She's performing at London Eurovision Party, and that year, last year, a lot of songs grew on me after that, seeing them live, seeing them in person. We'll see how that changes. Next up, Estonia. Tommy just has a lot of charisma. Tommy Cash just has a lot of charisma about him. I also really like that Italians are really enjoying this song. I find that quite funny. Yeah, song's a banger, it's a bop. It's just a Tommy Cash song tamed down for Eurovision. It's in my 1324 tier. It's fine. It's strong. It's a strong song. It's very catchy, very danceable. It's good stuff. Moving on to Latvia. Again, it's dropped a lot. The more I listen to the song, the more the repetition just gets to me. I mentioned in the last video about how, you know, the sections move between each other quite quickly, quite smoothly, so the repetition doesn't feel like it's repeating as much. However, the more you listen to the song, the more that goes away. The more you start to, you know, the same sections are just the same every time, and it does get quite boring to listen to. I'm still leaning positive on the song, but it's currently 1324. Again, I think after I see rehearsal stuff, after I see staging, after I see it live, it might change quite a lot. But for now, they have gone down quite far. So Albania currently sits exactly where it is. It does not move. It's basically my gatekeeper of the top 10. Because it's a song that, similar to what Lithuania is, but good this time, is that I really, really respect what it does. I greatly respect the song for what it is, more so than out of liking it. It's still a fun listen. It's still very fun to listen to. And I mean, seeing footage of these two just doing things, you know, especially with their interactions with some of the other participants, especially at the Nordic Eurovision, or was it the Nordic Music Festival, whatever it was. You know, I love them. They're fantastic people, and I'm very, very happy to see that they're in this contest. But yeah, it's a song that I respect. It's a song that I look at and think, wow, what a great piece of art. More so than like it. But I do still like it. That's the biggest difference, is that I do still like it, just not as much as a lot of people. Okay, we move on to Norway. The issue here, the song does start to get old eventually. I mentioned in the last video, I said pop perfection. Maybe not. As I said, the song, the more you listen, you realize it's a little one note. It does start to get a little bit old. The performance still carries 100%. The performance is what carries him. It's what will continue to carry him so long as he can perform it live. It has moved down quite a bit. It sits below Italy now, in between sort of this bit in this tier. Still a good song. I'll still listen to it. If it comes on the playlist, I'm vibing. But I'm not going to actively seek out listening to it, if that makes sense. What also starts to get quite old is Survivor. this has not aged particularly well on my ranking. Also, the fact that his vocals kind of suck doesn't help. His vocals aren't great, but again, there is something like the chorus is great. It's the part he's not singing, where the crowd, with the crowd chant, with the Survivor. It's still a banger. It's just that the song does very much not hold well to repetition, to replay, which is not a great position to be in. Azerbaijan, again, stays exactly where it is. Still love the production. Songs are very catchy, songs are very replayable. Last couple of years, I don't know what it is, Azerbaijan have just made songs for me and me exclusively. Like, the wider fandom seems to think this has no chance. Yeah, maybe that's true, but I still love it. I don't know why. Especially from the Little Bit More album that they're releasing. The Deep House version of this sold me so much. I fucking loved the Deep House version of this. But yeah, no, song still very catchy, very replayable, fantastic. Belgium has had a bit of a fall off in my estimations. It now sits down below Estonia, down in this third tier. I think after the first few listens, the vocals really do start to grate at you a little bit. The production's still amazing. The EDM, the EDM backing is fantastic, but his vocals do start to just... Also, I wasn't a fan of the music video. I thought the music video was very, very strange. But, as I say, maybe that'll change after seeing it live again. For now, it's down on me a little bit. Iceland has also fallen a little bit, which is very sad. I think it's less so that the song has gotten worse. I still love the song. I still absolutely adore the song. It's just that other songs have just come in that are better, I think is the thing. It's a fantastic song. I love Iceland still. I love Vibe. Matthias, Halfdan, funniest people on planet Earth. I have followed them through this entire season. I love them so much. They're amazing. Still praying for them to qualify. It would be a dream if they qualified. But, as I say, the reason why it's down is just because other songs that have come in I just think are better. It's that simple. But still, love, love, love. Okay, I'm going to save Australia for later. We are going to move on to the main bulk of these songs now. So the new stuff, I'm going to actually go a bit more in depth on these. So let's start at the bottom. Let's start at 37. What's the point? What's the point of them being here? I don't want to go into controversy around it, but like, if you're going to at least be in this contest, despite the fact that nobody wants you here, at least send something interesting. Instead, they're just rehashing what they did last year, but worse. Explain to me how that works. Like, come on. They really thought doing the same thing 2 years in a row would work. They do not stand a chance this year. Thank God. I don't get it. Like, at least do something different. At least take a different angle. Nope. Instead, it's just Hurricane 2. In fact, I would call it Hurricane 0.5. Because it is worse than Hurricane in basically every way. Anyway, also, biggest fall-off ever goes to Georgia. Why are they here? What's the point of this song? What does this song really do? Who cares? It's not Firefighter. It's not Nuts. Like, who gives it? It's just literally the biggest fall-off of the year. From the number 2 song last year, my number 2 song last year, to my number 36. Fucking imagine. Jesus. These two countries really have just missed the point. Ugh. Also, failing miserably is Serbia. We could have had Durum Durum. We could have had Turbo Zhurka. Instead, I don't know, fucking juries are bastards, televote are bastards, I guess. I don't know, man. Even Harem Girls would have been better. I'm going to say it, even Harem Girls would have been better, to be honest. And I did not like that song, but even they would have been better than this. And it's just like, it's nothing new. It's no untread ground. His voice is like mildly okay. That's the only redeeming factor. What's the point of this song being here? It's just space filler. Nothing about this song makes it redeemable. Who cares? I've been very negative. I need to like do these in a different order because I'm just gonna. I'm talking myself into a rage just from doing this. And in 34, we have Croatia. It's annoying. It's cringe. It has the worst lyrics of the year by a country mile. The tasty section actually just makes me viscerally angry. Who thought this was a good idea? Anyway, now that we've got those four out of the way, I can be happy again. Because we're moving on to songs that again I am more positive towards. Kind of. Okay, so Portugal is my 33. It sits at the bottom of this tier. It's not in the bottom tier because I don't actively dislike it. But do I actually like it? No. It's similar to Serbia. Portugal had so many options. They had Henke, they had Josh. My personal favourite was Peculiar. I do understand that, seemingly from looking at televote results, he had very little chance, but he won my heart anyway. Irrespective, so many good options, and this is what we got. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad song. The song's nice, but like, this is Eurovision. You need to stand out. This does not stand out. It's fine. You know, it's, as I say, it will be a nice change of pace in the semi, I think. It does have a chance of qualifying, because while I say it doesn't stand out, that's to the average listener, but when you combine the context of every other song here, it actually does. It might be a nice sort of, people who prefer an easier listen might really like this, and will be willing to vote for this, but for me, it's not a song I'd put on, it's not a song I listen to very regularly. And we also have France. Hey guys, will France ever do anything different? Do you know what? We're living in the world where I'm saying that Évidemment is the most unique French song that they've sent in the past like 5 years. Just think about that for a second. It sits in between Greece and Poland here. The gimmick of her daughter is cool, but like, that's it. That's like the only redeeming factor of the song. At least her voice is good. I don't know what you want me to say. It's the same French song we've heard 30 bajillion times. And in fact, there's a France Eurovision entry that is better than the France Eurovision entry right here that's still to come. So, you know. But, interestingly, after that, we actually have a massive jump coming up next. So this song was put in at about I think that's about 30th ranking. Of these new songs, the next one jumps all the way up to number 18. Now, a part of that might just be like the newer stuff is just fresher on the ears, so it's had less time to grow old. That's probably it, but for now, I'm going to put the United Kingdom up here, in number 18. I'm not biased, I promise. Well, actually, I might be a little bit biased. Last year I had Dizzy in my top 10. Then I saw the live show. Anyway, this is... Actually, if you look at all of the songs here, this is probably the most current sounding song. Like, if you were to look at... maybe not globally, but definitely in the English-speaking world, this is very much a song of the trends of the last year in pop music. It's, you know, with the exception to possibly Germany, this is the most current sounding song here, which is interesting. And the three of them are incredible vocalists. They actually live in they're actually from my county. Big up Surrey gang. I think the song is very underrated at the moment. Whether it's, you know, the UK hatred, I don't know if it's a real thing, but whatever. A lot of it's either us hating ourselves, which is a very British thing to do. It's the wider European population hating us. I don't know if that's a real thing, but people seem to think it is. Or it's just the Malta situation, which wasn't even the BBC, by the way. I should put that out there. People are blaming the BBC. It wasn't even them. It was the company that does the Watershed. They're not even related to the BBC. They're an independent organization. Fact for you there. Anyway. Yeah, very underrated song. I think it will do better than last year. As I say, because it's a very up-to-date song. It's a very modern song. Which is strange to say, but it is. And as I say, we don't have to worry about the vocal issues of previous years because these three are absolutely incredible. Incredible singers. So I'm excited for our chances. It's not the type of song I like, but it's very well produced, it's very well sung, so I'm excited to see where it goes. And we also have San Marino just above them. You know, EDM banger, uh, man of Blue Dabba Dee fame, which is a crossover I didn't think I'd. You know what? Actually, it makes a lot more sense than I'm giving it credit for. I do wonder how they'll handle the vocalist situation though, because you know, was it Una Voce? I think it's Una Voce. Yeah, I don't think Gabri was actually singing live. I think the backing vocalists were doing all of the work. So we'll see what happens there. Still somehow a worse Italian anthem than Estonia. Don't ask me how that works. Song's still a banger though. Next up we have Denmark coming in between Belgium and Italy at my number 15 spot. This is like, I call this the scared of heights of this year, but actually good. I say that because this is the kind of song that your average 40-year-old white woman is going to pick up the song and vote for. Pick up the song? What? Pick up the phone and vote for? Like, you know, I feel like my mother would love this song, for example. That's what I mean by the scared of heights kind of song. It's a song for wine mums, except actually good, because it might have a wider appeal outside of just that. Song is a banger. She's a fantastic vocalist. It's a standard Europop banger. What more is there to say? Now we're moving on to all of these last 7, and all of these last 7 sit in my top 2 tiers. These are the songs that I love, love, love. These are songs I'm actively seeking out, songs I'm actively looking to put on my day-to-day life. Starting off with Cyprus at number 11. Production is amazing. Production is the highlight of this song. And the lyrics are a bit strange. Like, obviously, I know the whole concept of the song is it's about an unknown person who will be revealed in May. Ooh. So, you know, when he sings the line, I've got golden locks, it's not about him. It's about whoever this unknown person may be. But it's still weird to hear him sing it. Also, from a couple of clips I've seen, he's not a great vocalist live. So I am very apprehensive to see where this goes. But, as of right now, song is a banger. It's a fun listen. Music video is very creative, very mysterious. But it's a song I find myself returning to listen to quite a lot. So I'm excited to see where it goes. It's a big reason why I think, you know, songs like Norway and Belgium have fallen down a bit for me, because this song has come in and taken the place that they were in. And again, a part of that might just be because it's newer, because it's fresher. So this might fall down a bit and they might rise a bit after. We'll see. For now, enjoying it while it is here. Very, very good song. We also have in this tier at my number 9 spot, again breaking the top 10, we have Austria. I think it might be a little bit overrated, just a little bit, because his voice is absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong. You know, he's the best vocalist of the year, not even close. But opera can get annoying, and I think there's a risk of that. I'm not saying it will, but then everything in this song is made up for by the fact that the last 30 seconds is the best 30 seconds of any song this year. Holy shit, that build into the last 30 seconds, that drop, oh my god. It blew me away the first time I heard it. It is the best 30 seconds of any song this entire year. Absolutely incredible stuff. I mean, I'm just excited to see how he does with this, because this has a really high peak. It's very much a winner contender. We also have in this tier Germany up at spot number 7, which I do believe completes this tier. I mean, as I alluded to in the UK section, this is a very current sounding song. This is a banger. It's a banger. It's a banger. And the cello is awesome. The cello is absolutely awesome. I believe it's Abor is the guy on the cello. Without saying a word, he just exudes such charisma. I don't know how he does it. But no, I said the pair of them are absolutely fantastic. And the song is just so listenable. It's so replayable. It's a real earworm, and it just stays. It's such a banger. All right, we move to the top 5 songs I am so incredibly positive on. Like, it's not even like these are songs I listen to basically every day. Songs I am constantly searching out, seeking out to listen to. So, number 5 is Switzerland. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said there is a country that has submitted a better France Eurovision entry than France itself, is Switzerland. I remember, I don't remember where I read this, but I read somewhere when they sort of leaked the entry, or one of the like news broadcasters got a hold of the entry. They teased it as a quote, cigarettes after sex song, which I don't quite think is the right descriptor. It's a very relaxing song. It's very soothing, and yet it's very mystical as well. The lyrics are incredible. The lyrics are one of the best lyrics of any song this year. Maybe the best, actually. It's genuinely a fantastic song. Um, you know, unironically, I think this is a better entry than last year for Switzerland. I just this song is just so good, and the pseudo sort of key change at the end as well is just so pleasing to the ears. I am very excited to see her live. I think that this song could do very, very well. I'm so excited. I think this song is just, it's so mystical, it's so soothing, it's so relaxing. And this is how you do, you know, a lot of the more soothing songs, you know, they serve as a nice break between the more upbeat pop-filled entries of this year. This one will stand out the most, and I'm so, so happy about that. We shall see. It might although it might end up in direct competition with France. It might even lose most of its jury points to France just because it's France. I really hope it doesn't though. I really hope that this overshadows France by a long way, because this song is much more interesting and the concept is much better. The subject matter is more interesting, I think. Even though I do sort of get that the France song is personal to her. We move. At number 4, we have the Netherlands. So Claude is an incredible artist. I discovered him about a year ago through some friends. And, you know, this isn't even his best song. This isn't even close to his best song. And it's still number 4 on the list. That's just how naturally good of an artist Claude is. You know, I could listen to 1,000 La Da Da's, Écoutez-moi's, or Layla's over this, like, but at the end of the day, this is still an absolute banger. It's just a fantastic blend of ballad with pop, you know, and I know people are saying that the French is too basic, but that's the point. It's basic French that his mother would say to him as a child. It's the similar sort of message to the French song, whilst having a much more interesting sound, a much more interesting voice, a much more interesting just sphere around the song than the French one does. That there's 2 songs that do a better French entry than France. But still, I genuinely think this has winner potential just because Claude is that incredible of a singer. I'm very, very excited to see how this does. You know, it's basically a top 5 lock, might even win. I'm so, so hopeful that it does. At number 3, we have Czechia. I mean, I think he has the best vocal sound of anyone this year. What I mean by that is, like, obviously, you know, JJ's vocals for Austria, they're more impressive, right? To call Adonis, the best vocalist would be untrue, but his voice sounds the best. Especially that really deep part at the beginning. Alright, that Blow Me a Kiss Goodbye, the way he comes in on that at the start. His voice sounds immaculate. And that's, you know, already a big positive. Also, the dance break is fine. What are people on about? It's one of the better parts of the song. It serves as a fantastic break between the real intense chorus into that last build. You come off of that intense chorus, They mix it into the dance break quite nicely. It's a good transition. And then after that dance break, the sort of the drums carry on even during the bridge as he builds into that last escalation. The last minute of the song with the staging will win everybody over, I guarantee it. People will come around to this so fast to be like, oh, actually, this is brilliant. With the last minute, I promise you, it will happen. All right, now we have 2 songs left that I've not yet spoke about. In fact, I'll move it down here. We've got Sweden and Australia, and my number 2 song of this year is Sweden. We got Sweden singing in Swedish before GTA 6. How? I don't know. It's the catchiest song of the year by far. The lyrics are incredibly funny. This is how you do a humorous entry while making it serious. It's played so straight, the performance is played so straight, and yet it's so obvious that they're joking. That's the great part about it. It's like they're playing the straight man in a comedy. I don't mean straight man as in, you know what I mean. They're playing the serious man in a comedy show. But it's so obvious they're joking and having a great time while doing it. It's absolutely amazing. The staging was so good. The moment that woodland, like the logging bit, tipped over to reveal the sauna, my jaw just dropped. I started cackling. It was so funny. And the moment that they were announced to have won over Mans, I was in the car at the time. I just popped off more than you have ever. I scared the shit out of everyone else in my car. They were like, "What's happened? What have we?" But oh my god, the moment that they were at those televote points were announced, oh my god, my day was just made. And even better, knowing what with the news about Mars that's happened since then, that they won, and I'm so glad they did. Fingers crossed, this represents a change in the trajectory of Sweden's Eurovision entries in the future, because more songs like this would be absolutely amazing, especially from a country as musically diverse as Sweden. Fingers crossed, let's see how this goes. But that does mean that my favourite song of the year, of this Eurovision year, is Milkshake Man by Gojo. My biggest issue with it last time, I said it has the best production of the entire year. It's not even close. I hold true to that. I think that this song has the best production of the entire year by far. It's so clean. It's so interesting. The way that they interpolate Greensleeves at the start. It's a bit more subdued during the verses, but then just explodes during the chorus. That psychedelic breakdown. But that comes after a more minimalist, just like where it's just the bass and the drums for the bridge. And then it hits you with the, sweet, sweet yum yum. The psychedelic breakdown is so good. It's absolutely incredibly produced. I can't think of a single song this year produced better. The biggest issue I had was the lyrics. And now the lyrics have won me over. I just think they're funny. The difference, but here in Croatia, that's cringe lyrics. These lyrics, they're played for laughs, but they are funny. They are they're like a cute little poke, Maybe the wrong way to go, maybe the wrong way to word that. But it's sort of like someone like giving you an elbow, like, ah, you would have tasted a milkshake, man, kind of thing. They've won me over a lot. And I'm so excited. The second Gojo was announced on the list of attendees for the Eurovision party, I was just like, I cheered. I was so happy. I'm so excited to see this. This is my favourite song of the year by far. It's just the best sound. It's just funny. It's fun. This is the second out of 3 years that Australia has just sent a song that I love more than anything else that year. There's actually quite a huge gap between 1 and 2. I don't think anything will come close to Australia this year. It's just appeals to me in every possible way. And I'm so excited. Honestly, most of the songs this year have been bangers. People saying this is a weak year, a little too harsh. And with that is everything. Please do let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my takes. You'll probably disagree with a lot, because there are some very hot takes here. But what a great year for Eurovision. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.